Hi there. My name is Brenda Bailey, and I am the instructor for your 0930 math class, your intermediate algebra. And I wanted to go through a couple of things just to get you started. Now, this right here is the hub at Sheridan College. And when you go into your Canvas, you won't have as many math classes. You'll have something that looks like this algebra here. Click on that. And this is my homepage. This is where, I've got my email. This is my cell phone. I should put cell. You can always text me on my cell. See, office hours by appointment. Or I'm also in the Math Center, which is in the Whitney building on the Sheridan campus. So if you happen to be in Sheridan, you can always come and see me Tuesdays from 4 to 6 in the Math Center in the Whitney building, second floor. All right, so here we're going to look at the modules. I'm going to try to make this quick. You don't have as many boxes here as I do, but what I wanted to go through with you is this welcome to class. I also wanted to talk to you about the exams. All righty, so here, this welcome to class. Right now, we're in a video. This video, which I've also sent to you as an email, is found right here. We're going to talk about the syllabus, a few things about registration, and a couple of other videos here, and then the exams. So let's talk about the syllabus first. So again, this is in your modules. You can click on it. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to load. All righty, not bad. Make it a little bit larger. Okay, so what we have, this is an online class, and it's asynchronous. And asynchronous means that we will not be meeting as a class on Zoom. So asynchronous just means you go at your own pace. And I have provided video lessons for you. So if you have trouble with the homework, you can go to the video lesson. I have notes and a video lesson for every section that you'll be doing for the homework. Let's see, my office, which I'm very seldom in. Here's my cell again. Here's my email again, office hours again. This right here is a YouTube lesson link. I would not use this. It would be pretty confusing, but just in case you wanted it, it's there. I'll show you how to get to each lesson a lot easier. This is my Zoom link. It's also in other places. If you want to meet on Zoom and go over any questions, go over a test, whatever. Here's the description, purpose. You can kind of look at this, asynchronous. Let's see. Now, some of the things that you might be interested in, optional textbook. I kind of emailed you that earlier as an announcement that you don't need to buy the textbook. What is required is this number 2. It's access to Pearson, and it's an online software. So we'll be using 2 platforms in this class. We'll be using Canvas, which is where we're at now, and we'll also be using Pearson My Math Lab. 90% of the time you will be in Pearson using it for homework, tests, and quizzes. This right here, the course ID number is, when you're in Pearson, you'll need this course ID number, but I have it on another link. If you need to contact Pearson for any reason, for technical support, they'll want this ID number. And this is not the only place you'll find it. I have other places where you can find the ID number. Let's see. And again, I have detailed instructions for registering with Pearson in the Welcome to Class module in your Canvas shell on the hub, which is where we're at right now. So again, this is a requirement. You have to have it. The nice thing is that Pearson will give you a 2-week free access. So there's no reason why you cannot get started right away. If you don't have the funds, you're waiting for scholarships, you can get 2 weeks free and then pay later. And I talk about that in this in the video in the Welcome to Class module. Let's see, minimum competencies, you can go through those, academic honesty, it's important. An education is as good as you make it. So, on an online class in math, it'd be easy to cheat on all the homework, but eventually it'll catch up to you in your degree classes. So I highly recommend that you do this homework. Unfortunately, there is quite a bit of homework. One of the math instructors, professors said that I think that uh, the homework time for 9:30 is about 12 to 15 hours a week, depending upon your background. And that's just doing homework, but all right. Okay, tests. You have about 6 unit tests in the final. That's 50% of your grade. I will talk about tests. We have two test types you'll be taking. Some will be take-home tests and some will be proctored tests. So we'll talk about those in the modules. Homework is 35% and quizzes are 15%. So if you don't do your homework, you don't do the quizzes, all you did were tests. The best you can get in the class if you got 100% on all of them is a 50%. You'll have to do some of the homework, maybe do some of these quizzes in order to pass the class and get 100% on your tests. So you do need to do all 3 sections in order to probably pass, unless you're a great test taker and get 100%. And then you'd only need to do about 20% of the homework in the quizzes to make up that 20% to get you 70. So do all of them. You'll be great. Let's see, grading. I am 90, 80, 70, 60, pretty straightforward. If you have an 89.5, I round up, which is good for some of you. Let's see, homework. Let's talk about the homework assignments. They're all in my math lab. And what if you're late? What if you're late with a homework assignment? If you are late and you go past the due date, you can still access the homework. However, 10% will be deducted from the problems that you do after the due date. It's not much. 10% is not much. And it's just kind of my way of trying to force you to keep up and not wait. Procrastination sometimes prevails, and it would be really tough to wait to do the homework assignments at the last minute. So get the homework assignment. If not, it will be deducted 10% after the due date. The due dates on these are always on a Sunday night at midnight. I would not wait until Sunday to do all of the homework. You do it throughout the week. The tests are worth 100 points. And if you miss a test, what happens? Especially with these proctored tests, it's after the due date. And you thought it was due Monday, but it was due Sunday night or whatever. I will not deduct any points on a late exam. Will not do that. But what happens if it was due on Sunday and it's Monday, I will put a 0 in the grade book. You can replace the 0 as soon as you take the exam. So it kind of gives you an idea of what your grade would be if you don't take the exam, but it's replaceable and I will not deduct for late exams. Quizzes. Quizzes are given throughout the semester in my math lab. If you're late on a quiz, I will deduct 10%. So rather than getting a 10 out of 10, you would get a 9 out of 10. But you can still do the quizzes late, just 10% is deducted. You have 3 attempts on every quiz. And Pearson will take the best of the 3 for your grading purposes. If you have any questions on the grading or whatever, just contact me with disputes. I hope all of that kind of made sense there as far as the homework. So really, homework and quizzes are deducted if it's past the due date. Not deducted a lot, just 10%, 1 point, out of the 10, but there is a deduction. Tests are not deducted. I'll put a 0 in the grade book, and as soon as you take the test, you will replace the 0 with no deduction. Okay. Resources here. Okay, at the very bottom of the syllabus is and I want to emphasize the word tentative. It might change, but this is just sort of what we'll be covering each week. And it might change a little here and there, but it won't change a lot for your weeks. And there's one week in here. I didn't count. I can't remember where the spring break is, but I didn't count spring break as a week. So I just skipped it. So you'll see it in the modules. All righty. Okay, well, I hope that kind of made sense. For the syllabus, again, questions, just let me know. So now we're going to go back to the modules. So I'm going to go back to the modules and look at a couple of the others. I'm trying to keep these videos short. So we just talked about the syllabus. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, this is in the Welcome to Class, how to register with Pearson. This is a video, if you have never registered with Pearson before, on a step-by-step on how to do that. You just click on here, click on that, and it'll take you to my YouTube channel. Click here and it'll walk you through how to register. All right, now, I don't know what the previous, maybe the previous will go back. No, I don't want that, so I'm going to go back to modules. If you know how, then you can just start with this Pearson registration. It's a PDF file, and you can just use it to register. You can just go to here and register without you looking at the video. And again, here's my course ID number, which you'll need, course ID number. So it's in a lot of places. But this is something you have to do. And again, you can get 2 weeks free so that you can start the homework and not get behind and then figure out how you're going to pay for it. Let's see now. This is another video, how to use Canvas in this class. We have 2 platforms, Canvas, which I talk about in this video, and Pearson, which I talk about in this video, how to use the 2. If for some reason you're confused on the 2 platforms and how to use both of them, please, please contact me. I don't want that to be an issue for you. So you'll need to watch how to use Canvas in this class and how to use Pearson. Also, academic policies. This is just a college-wide academic policies you can look at. This is also a Zoom link to my Zoom room. Again, rather than if you don't want to use the syllabus link, you can come down here for that link. All righty. So that pretty much covers this welcome to class, things for you to watch. The other 2 drop-down menus I wanted to talk about are the exams. You will have 2 types of exams. Some will be proctored exams. We won't have a lot of those, and I'll make sure you know which ones are proctored, and we'll have some take-home exams. Let's talk about options for taking the proctored exams. How do we do that? It's going to be a while before we do a proctored exam, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. So we're going to click on this. Here are options. You have 3 options for taking a proctored exam. You can take the proctored exam. Here, I'll just click on this. How to take a proctored exam at a testing center. You'll probably have 3 or 4 of these during the semester. If you're taking your exams at the Sheridan College Testing Center, the Coy Library, you will need to schedule a time with them using this link. Scheduling and then this right here, you just click on this and it'll take you to the form you fill out and send in. This must be done 2 business days in advance of taking your exam. So if you want to take it Friday, schedule by Wednesday. You guys are really picky about this at the library there. And this is the tough one. If you want to take it on a Monday, you have to schedule Thursday. So it's business days, 2 business days in advance. This is at the Sheridan Testing Center when it comes time for a proctored exam. If you are scheduling with a testing center in another town, all right, please let me know via email and I will get the information to that testing center. I will need you to email the contact information for this testing center as well. So, you know, if you're saying, well, I'm taking it in Gillette. I'm in Gillette. I'm going to take it at the testing center in Gillette. Just contact me, you know, through email and we'll get that figured out. Proctored, here, let's go back now. Hopefully it goes back to, Oh, well, I don't really didn't want to go back to modules, but I guess I'm going to have to. Okay, now, and then we're going to talk about how to study and how to review for these proctored exams. You'll probably like this. Okay, option 2, how to take a proctored exam with a proctor of your choosing. So let's say that you can't take it at a testing center. You can only take it on Saturdays, or you work nights, and maybe your boss or somebody would proctor the exam, and that you can do that. So you can ask someone to proctor your exams, and I have a list. It's not an exhaustive list. I think I say that somewhere here, yeah, down here, of who can proctor your exams. So please look over the link proctor application form. We'll look at that. At the top of the form are suggestions for proctors. This is not an exhaustive list. So if you have a person in mind that does not fit the possible choices on the application, contact me and ask, well, maybe you have someone who's a retired teacher, maybe, one of your pastors at church, just whatever. They can proctor your exams. Once you've chosen a proctor, forward the application to them and have them complete and forward to my email. I'd really rather this be done not through the mail, but just email, snail mail, I guess. Make sure it's email. I will look it over, and if approved, I will email them the allowable items for your test, like what kind of notes you can use, what kind of calculator, and I will also email them the password to get into the exam. All righty. That's option 2 for taking an exam. The third option, that you have is it's not really the most desirable option, but if you are not near a testing center, you have no one that can proctor your exams when you need it. This is a third one. And this one right here is Respondus video monitoring. And on this one, you would download Respondus on your from your Pearson account, and it will activate the camera on your computer. And so it records you taking the exam, and then we just make sure that you're not having somebody sitting there doing the testing with you. And so it's a video monitoring. And some people don't like this, but this is also an option. Please contact me if this is the option you choose. You just want to be videoed. It records it. It sends me the recording. I watch the recording, and then we're good. And I will get the instructions to you for downloading Respondus. This is option 3 as far as taking the exams. The first exam you will be taking is a take-home test. So we have a few weeks in order, for you to kind of get this idea done as far as how you're going to proctor the exams. Oh, I wanted to look at the proctor application if you choose this option for taking the exams that are proctored. You see at the top here, they've got elementary or secondary school superintendents, principals, teachers, or guidance counselors, professional employees of an accredited post-secondary college. So, any college professor could do this. Libraries, you can go to a library. They can fill out the form. A commissioned officer in the military, and then other responsible individuals who might be approved by the instructor. And I just want to warn you, just because I approve this individual, if you take another class, they may not be approved. So, in professors, like I say, if I approve it, they may, your next professor may not. So it's not guaranteed. But anyways, you can just let me know. This is a non-degree class, so I'm pretty liberal with this right here as far as who can proctor it. But they would just fill this out. You just forward it to them. They just click on these and fill this out. The proctor's name, the signature, not really necessary. The company name, any costs. And then if they could email this to me with a business card or I don't know, because I really don't want you to have to send me a business card, but you know, this is if you don't if they don't want to send me a business card or business stationery, that's fine. You don't have to do that, and I'll put that in the email that that's not necessary, and then just email this form to me, and it's at the bottom there. Alrighty, so this is just sort of a Proctor application, and then I will send them all the information they need. Alrighty, so let's go back to our modules. I want to talk about how to study, how to review for proctored exams, and I know this is getting longer than I wanted. So to review for a proctored exam, I will assign an optional practice exam that you can take. This exam is very, very similar to the proctored exam you will be taking for a grade. So if the question is on this practice exam, the question will be on your proctored exam. Now, this is another positive thing. If you take the optional practice exam and score 75% or higher, I will add 10% to your proctored exam grade. So when you take that proctored exam and you get a 76, I will give you an 86 if you got a 75% on this practice exam. So that might be something, you might want to consider. You can take the optional practice exam as many times as you want before you take this one. All righty. Now, on the proctored exam, you are allowed one sheet, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, front and back of notes, and a calculator. And I'll give you more on the calculator later, as far as what calculators are allowed and what are not. So this is the best way to study is to do that optional practice exam. Take notes on it on your piece of paper, and then get a 75% or above on it. That's awesome. And then I will add 10% to your proctored exam score. I am not here to fail you. I'm here to make sure you know as much as possible for your next degree class. There we go. Proctored exams. Now, let's talk about what about the take-home exams? How to take a take-home exam. It's not as in-depth. These take-home exams are not proctored. All right. You access them in Pearson and no password is required. There will not be an optional review for 10% extra credit. However, you will be given 2 attempts on these take-home exams. Pearson will take the best of the 2 attempts to figure your overall grade. So with these take-home exams, you can try it. It's on the homework. And you can always take it again, and I'll take the best of the 2 grades. So those will be the take-home exams, and your first exam is the take-home exam. All righty. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to talk about in this welcome to class. I really want to encourage you to contact me. I don't want you spending 3 hours on a homework problem. That's not necessary. You need to contact me on these take-home exams. If you fail the first one, contact me. We can go through it problem by problem, and then you can take it again. I'm more interested in you learning as much as possible in this class to help you with the next one. All righty. Again, contact me if you have any questions. Welcome to class, and I'm excited to get started. And with this welcome to class, I encourage you to watch this Canvas and this Pearson as well. And I'll try to keep them short. All right. Thank you. And I think that's all I have. All right. Bye-bye.